Hey there guys, Ectomaster here, bringing you the next in the talents, glyphs, specs, all that for Mr. Pandaria beta. We're going to be looking at the priest in this turn. So I do apologize, it's been a little late on all the videos as July has been coming to an end. The allergens and whatnot that I apparently don't like has been in the air. That being said, as the days go on, I start coughing more and more. Luckily, it hasn't been doing it in the past couple of days, so I figured if I'm doing fine by Sunday, then I was going to do a whole new video, and I've got one for you here now. So, enough of me rambling, let's get down to brass tacks in the business. So, we are going to be looking at... Wow, really? That's a bit of a surprise. Anyways, I'm getting distracted here. So, priest. Let's look at the specs. So, first off, we've got discipline, holy, and shadow. So, discipline has been designated as a healer now. So, discipline gets the power word shield, spirit shell, penance, divine aegis, and power word barrier. Holy, which is also a healer, gets circle of healing, chakra sanctuary, flash heal, light well, and divine hymn. And then shadow is the only damage now, it looks like, and it gets shadow word pain, mind flay, mind blast, vampiric touch, devouring plague, and shadow orbs. To be quite honest, I have a priest and I have a discipline, and she is a healer. So this is not her, this is Christina. Say hello, Christina.
Greetings.
See, she says hi. Anyways, let's move on. So, level 15, first tier you get. Now you have three options, of course, as always. The first one being Void Tendrils. Summons shadowy tendrils out of the ground, rooting up to 5 enemy targets within 8 yards for 20 seconds. Killing the tendril will cancel the effect. Then Psy Fiend summons a Psy Fiend that stands in place for 10 seconds. The Psy Fiend casts a Psychic Terror on a nearby enemy within 20 yards every 1.5 seconds, preferring anything attacking the priest. Psychic Terror causes enemies to flee for 30 seconds. Damage caused may interrupt the effect. And then Dominate Mind controls a mind up to level 88 for 30 seconds. Does not work versus mechanical beings. I like the sound of that. Moving on, tier 2, level 30. We have Body and Soul. When you cast Power Word Shield or Leap of Faith, you increase the target's movement speed by 60% for 4 seconds. Angelic Feather places a feather at the target location. If allies walk through it, they gain 60% increased movement speed for 4 seconds. Only 3 feathers can be placed at one time, accumulates an additional charge once every 10 seconds. It sounds kind of like the boss fight in Firelands with the bird, where you have to collect the feathers, and you collect a certain amount of feathers, and you start moving faster, and if you get 3 feathers, then you fly. You guys know the bird. It was the dragon. Anyways, moving on. Phantasm. When you fade, you remove all movement impairing effects from yourself. You become untargetable by ranged attacks, and your movement speed is unhindered for 3 seconds. I don't know, I like this one. Let's get all Alice Resort. That's it, Alice Resort. Ahem. Level 45, the third tier. From darkness comes light. To passive Surge of Light, you have a 15% chance. Oh, excuse me. When you smite, heal, flash heal, binding heal, or greater heal, to cause your next flash heal to be instant cast and have no mana cost. Limit is 2 charges. Or Surge of Darkness. Periodic damage from your vampiric touch has a 15% chance to cause your next mind spike to not consume your damage over time effects. Become instant cast, cost no mana, and deal 20% additional damage. Again, 2 charges limit. Mindbender grants an improved version of Shadow Fiend that is substantially more effective at dealing damage and generating mana. And then Power Word Solace. Strike an enemy with the power of the heavens, dealing 4,790 holy damage and restoring 2% of maximum mana. While in shadow form, this spell transforms into Shadow Word Insanity. Consumes your Shadow Word Pain to deal 15,980 shadow damage to the target. Only usable while Shadow Word Pain has less than 6,000 seconds remaining. Tell me that's a period. That does not look like a period. That looks like a comma. So if your Shadow Word Pain has less than 6,000 seconds remaining, it'll work. It's probably 6 seconds, but I swear to you, that looks like a comma. Oy. Beta is beta. Alright, level 60. Desperate Prayer instantly heals the caster for 30% of their total health. Oh, by the way, I kind of like, From Darkness Comes Light. Spectral Guise. Your shadow blurs into the darkness, leaving your true form behind as a shadow, your stealth, but remain in combat. Lasts 6 seconds or until your true form is hit by 3 direct attacks. And then Angelic Bulwark. Anytime a damaging attack brings you below 30% health, you gain an absorption shield equal to 20% of your total health, lasting for 20 seconds. This effect cannot occur more than once every 90 seconds. Let's see. Desperate Prayer. That sounds like a good one to me. Alright, Twist of Fate. Level 75 tier. After damaging or healing a target below 20% health, you deal 15% increased damage or healing for 10 seconds. Power Infusion. Infuses a target with power, increasing spellcasting speed by 20% and reducing the mana cost of all spells by 20% as well. It lasts for 15 seconds. It's got a 2-minute cooldown. Divine Insight. That's a passive. For Discipline, when you cast Penance, there is a 40% chance your next power word shield will both ignore and not cause the weakened soul effect. Holy, when you cast Greater Heal, there is a 40% chance your next Prayer of Mending will not trigger its cooldown and will jump to each target instantly. And then Shadow. Periodic damage from your Shadow Word of Pain has a 5% chance to reset the cooldown on Mind Blast and cause your next Mind Blast within 12 seconds to be instant cast and cost no mana. Personally, I like Power Infusion. Just because. Alright, level 90, the one I can't do yet because I don't have any level 90s and they're not letting us make any premates. Well, besides 85s. I know, they want us to test the random pandas. Getting distracted. They want us to test the leveling and whatnot, and by now you guys probably could have read what I have up on there. So, we're going to ignore everything here. I'm getting off track. Cascade. Launches a holy bolt at the target that grows in power as it travels, which causes up to 16,174 damage to an enemy or up to 16,174 healing to an ally. This effect can bounce from allies to other allies or from enemies to other enemies. Each time it bounces, it will split into 2 bolts, preferring farther away targets and never hitting the same target twice. Cascade can bounce up to 3 times. Deals shadow damage or healing while in shadow form. Divine Star. Fires a Divine Star in front of you, traveling 24 yards, causing 5,391 divine damage to all enemies, and the same amount to healing to all allies within 6 yards of its path. After reaching its destination, it will return to you, also dealing damage and healing to all targets in its path. Deals spell shadow damage and healing while in shadow form. And then Halo, no, not the game. Creates a ring of holy energy around you that quickly expands and grows in power up to 30 yards away. Deals up to 32,347 holy damage to enemies and the same amount of healing to allies with the greatest effect at 25 yards. Deals shadow damage and healing while in shadow form. So we can't get any of those. We're just going to go ahead and learn what's there. Dominate Mind. I love the sound of that. Alright. Looking at the glyphs now. Time for the glyphs. Let's get into it. So major glyphs. First and foremost. Circle of Healing. For Holy, your Circle of Healing spell heals one additional target, but its mana cost is increased by 35%. Shadow, Dark Binding. You can now cast Prayer of Mending, Renew, and Leap of Faith without canceling Shadow Form. That is rather impressive. I do like the sound of that. Desperation is both for Discipline and Holy, allows pain suppression, and Guardian Spirit to be cast while stunned. Dispel Magic. Your Dispel Magic spell also heals your target for 2,706 Holy damage when you successfully dispel a magical effect. Dispersion is for Shadow, reduces the cooldown of Dispersion by 15 seconds. Fade. Your Fade ability now also reduces all damage taken by 10%. Fear Ward. Fear Word. Fear words, for I am a priest. Reduces the cooldown and duration of Fear Ward by 60 seconds. Holy Fire. Your Holy Fire spell is now instant. I like the sound of that. Boop. Holy Nova teaches you the ability Holy Nova. Causes an explosion of Holy Light. Boy, I am all over the place today. Causes an explosion of Holy Light around the caster, causing 1,335 holy damage to all enemy targets within 10 yards, and healing up to 5 targets within 10 yards for 4,100. Healing is divided among the number of targets healed. These effects cause no threat. I like the sound of that as well. Let's see. Inner Fire. Increases the armor gain from your Inner Fire spell by 50%. Inner Focus. When you cast Inner Focus, you become immune to silence, interrupt, and dispel effects for 5 seconds. That's for Discipline. Inner Sanctum. Spell damage taken is reduced by 6% while within Inner Fire. And the movement speed bonus of your Inner Will is increased by 6%. Leap of Faith. Your Leap of Faith spell now also clears all movement impairing effects from your target. Levitate increases your movement speed while levitating for 10 seconds and 10 seconds afterwards by 15%. Lightwell is for Holy, obviously. Increases the total amount of charges of your Lightwell by 2. Mass Dispel reduces the cast time of Mass Dispel by 1 second. Mind Blast. When you critically hit with your Mind Blast, you cause the target to be unable to move for 4 seconds. You know, it's like kind of like a brain freeze. Oh, ice cream, too much. I can't move. And that is, of course, for Shadow. Mind Spike for Shadow. When you deal damage with your Mind Spike, the cast time of your next Mind Blast is reduced by 50%, lasting 6 seconds. This effect can stack up to 2 times. And then Penance for Discipline, obviously. Increases the mana cost of Penance by 20%, but allows Penance to be cast while moving? I don't know. That's pretty tempting. I'll have to hold off on that. Alright, we're almost to the end here. Power Word Shield. 20% of the absorbed from your Power Word Shield spell is converted into healing. Prayer of Mending. The first charge of your Prayer of Mending heals for an additional 60%, but your Prayer of Mending has 1 fewer charge. Psychic Horror for Shadow reduces the cooldown of your Psychic Horror by 10 seconds. Psychic Scream targets of your Psychic Scream and your Siphane Psychic Terror now tremble in place instead of fleeing in fear. Purify is for Discipline and Holy. Your Purify spell also heals your target for 3% of maximum health when you successfully dispel a magical effect or disease. Now, Reflective Shield causes 45% of the damage you absorb with Power Word Shield to reflect back at the attacker. This damage causes no threat. Renew. Your Renew heals for 33% more each time it heals, but its duration is reduced by 3 seconds. Scourge Imprisonment reduces the cast time of your Shackle Undead by 1 second. Smite. Discipline and Holy. Your Smite spell inflicts an additional 20% damage against targets afflicted by Holy Fire. And then Spirit of Redemption is for Holy. Increases the duration of Spirit of Redemption by 10 seconds. Now there's 4 more at the end here. Light Spring is for Holy. Transforms your Light Well into a Light Spring. Creates a Holy Light Spring. Every 1 second, the Light Spring will attempt to heal party and raid members lower than 50% health for 27,522 over 5.36 seconds. Attacks done to the target equal to 30% of your total health will cancel the effect. Light Spring lasts for 3 minutes or until 15 heals are expended. Mind Flay for Shadow. Your Mind Flay spell no longer slows your victim's movement speed. Instead, each time Mind Flay deals damage, you will be granted 15% increased movement speed for 5 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Shadow Word Death. Your Shadow Word Death can now be cast at any time, but deals 25% damage against targets above 20% health. Casting Shadow Word Death now also does damage to you equivalent to the damage it would do to an enemy above 20% health. Ooh, not cool. Glyph of Vampiric Embrace. Your Vampiric Embrace converts an additional 50% of the damage you deal into healing, but the duration is reduced by 5 seconds. And that is, of course, for Shadow as well. We're going to go ahead and just do the smite. Why not? Now, we're going to zoom back to the top. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to get rid of that so that we can... Wow. I'm missing quite a bit here. Alright. So, minor glyphs. There's not a whole lot to these right now, at least for now. So, borrowed time. Your borrowed time is now displayed visually. That's Glyph of Borrowed Time. I'd have to look into that. Dark Archangel Shadow. When you apply Devouring Plague to a target, you take it on the form of a Dark Archangel for 8 seconds. Shackle Undead changes the appearance of your Shackle Undead. Shadow alters the appearance of your Shadow form to be less transparent. Shadow Ravens. Your Shadow Orbs now appear as Shadow Ravens. And then these here. Confession teaches you the ability Confession. Compels a friendly target to confess a secret. Heavens. Your levitate targets will appear to be riding on a cloud for the duration of the spell. Holy Resurrection. Your resurrection target appears bathed in a holy light for the duration of the resurrection cast. Shadowy Fiends. Your shadow form extends to your non-combat pets. And the Valkyr. While Spirit of Redemption is active, you now appear as a Valkyr. So those are rather interesting. I think... I don't know what this borrowed time is. Let me take a look. I don't see anything about borrowed time. Oh, it's passive. Grants 15% spell haste for your next spell after casting Power Word Shield. Lasts for 6 seconds. Alright. Well, we'll put that on there. Why not? Borrowed time. Shackle Undead. And you know what? No. I'm going to go see because there's a dude over here. He's a big giant dude. Big giant Tauren. We're going to fly over to him and see if he has Heavens and Confession. I would love to show you the Valkyr, but, there we go. Hello, dude. Holy Resurrection. Glyph of the Heavens. That's the one I want. And... Confession. Confess to me. Alright. We shall meet again. You are mounted. I'm no longer mounted. It should actually be saying, you are flying, dumbass. Get off the stupid thing. Alright, so... Yes. And confession. Alright. So, first things first. Where is confession? We're going to put that on here. Get rid of that. And then, let's see. We need Power Word Shield. We need Levitate. And Power Word Shield. Where is it? There we go. Power Word Shield. No, stupid. Here we go. Alright. So Power Word Shield. Borrowed time. There we go. Oh, and it's got a little clock. Isn't that nice? Levitate. I'm on a cloud. I'm on a cloud. I'm on a cloud. Let's see if we can get her to confess. I once took a bow that a hunter wanted. Ah! Oh, I like that. That's cute. That's funny. Well, how about this guy? Can we do it? Oh, no, it's a minute cooldown, so we gotta wait another minute. That's fine. I will stand and float around on my cloud, and there's nothing that you can do about it. What shall we do? You shall do nothing. 30 more seconds and we'll try a player. And see if we can't get them to confess. I rather like confession. It's kind of fun. If we can get players to confess, that'd be even better. Because I can tell you right now, it'll be hilarious to do in the middle of a raid. You're just sitting there, you're getting ready to go, and all of a sudden your tank says, I like to wear pretty pink panties. Wait, no, that's not what I said. That wasn't me. I didn't mean to say that. There we go. We'll target this dwarf hunter. I once took... That's the same thing that... That's silly. That is a hunter. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. Alright, I guess I will see you guys next time. The hunter himself, what? Doesn't make sense.